of dudes with attitude.
Welcome to Boob Tube Boys, a television show podcast with some friends. I'm one of those. I am Brian Vaughn. I'm joined by a couple of people. Van Lee's one of them.
Am I good vibrations or laid-back dudes? Or boots. I don't know what the word is.
Oh, you might be laid-back boots. Spencer Good Vibrations Hendricks is also here.
Would you say we have attitude?
Yeah, we do. We have tude to spare, I would say.
A couple Raphaels going on in here, I think.
Yeah, we're not Donatellos. We're in the middle of BTB Rewind, though, guys.
Do you guys have it in you? In fact, I know you don't have it in you to be Raphael material because you would never have chocolate sauce and clams on your pizza. Was that what it was?
It's something horrible.
Like it was chocolate and oysters or something. Yeah, you guys, you're not quite Raphael material.
Not yet. Gonna have to start eating grosser things. We're covering California Dreams again today for the first time since episodes 1 and 2.
600 years ago.
And yeah, it's been a while since we've all been in the same room recording. We're doing that now, though. We're very excited about it. So it's kind of fitting that we go back to our origin story.
Yeah, that's true. It has been a few months. Life got in the way. A couple terrible things happened to me in particular, but we're okay. We're back.
Yeah, Spencer, though, I understand has had an eventful time.
I mean, did you guys take the time to, I don't know, to educate yourself on anything or learn new skills or do anything in our little layoff period? I might, I guess, call it.
You know what? I played StarCraft 2 a little bit.
There you go.
Oh.
So you would say you did take some time to refine your StarCrafting.
Yeah, I learned about a Zerg rush or whatever.
Okay, I'll take that. How about you, Brian? Did you pick up any new hobbies?
Oh, I've mostly just been in the desert for months.
That's actually not even a lie, somehow.
Was there like a book there?
There was a book,
a tome,
and then
people
kind of a
disappearing?
whispery ghost noise, and then I started writing my second novel.
Sounds about right.
So I thought it would be a good time to brush up on some British insults during that time period.
Oh, yeah?
I've got a couple for you guys, and I'm going to throw them at you periodically in this episode just to keep you on your toes.
It's about bloody time.
It's not.
It's like, you got a weak chimney.
It's not going to be personal if it happens, and I won't just use them at you guys. We'll also just call characters in.
Sure.
And what's the show called again?
Saved by California.
We'll also call characters in California Dreams. That some of these names if it comes up, but I'm just going to throw a few out there. Most of these you'll have heard. Some of them I don't think you will have.
Okay.
And what is California Dreams if not the Downton Abbey of America?
Yeah, there's no tie-in. So I just like the things British people say.
Crikey.
And especially when they're mad, because I don't know that they really get mad. They're kind of always annoyed anyway. So when it comes out, it's just really, it's comedic even when they're insulting someone.
Yeah,
so,
like you can't see Mr. Bean being mean to anybody.
No.
He's too busy trying to park his car.
I do feel like their humor is always kind of like, wow, that could hurt someone's feelings, but that's just how they are
Except
all
for
the time.
Mr. Bean again.
No, he wouldn't do that.
British humor, hold on, I'm going to do this now. I think there obviously are very good examples of British humor, and then there are really bad ones. And the really bad ones boil British humor down to what it is at its base, which is, oh, that word's a little weird.
I do like that part.
Kunkly mahogany. And they're like, oh, that's the entirety of the joke. And it's like, oh, that can be good if there's a little bit more to it. But if it's just John Cleese standing there shrugging and going, kunkly mahogany, come on, you can do better than that.
I think that's like the British version of in America when we just curse or something.
Sure.
You can work a little harder at that. Like if an American movie curses and has like a bikini babe in a truck, that's like a British person saying conkly mahogany.
I'll tell you what it is. It's bitch. It's Jesse saying, come on, yeah, bitch. That's an American humor thing.
Yeah, but it's fine when he does it.
It is, but the copycats which have since come that don't understand, you have to build up
the nuance
to the yeah,
bitch.
The nuance of Jesse saying, yeah, bitch, when he performs a train robbery.
Don't get the payoff for Magnets, bitch, unless you've spent years building it.
Yeah, he earned that one. Aaron Paul did.
So expect some Britishisms as we continue with our third time covering California Dreams.
Well, I think he has
I'm going to do a few. We'll do a few, and then I'll throw some more out later.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be kind of it'll be mixed in. I don't want to take too much more with this, but
like any dumb American,
give you a
I
preview.
misunderstood.
Let's do a preview
and
of
bold
a few,
over it.
And then I'm going to surprise you with some.
Yeah.
So you guys have heard when someone's gormless, right? You've
Gormless.
Heard gormless.
I feel like I have, but what does that mean?
The world is now with Mark Gormley's
These
death.
pretty much all mean the same thing, which is an idiot, a moron, a stupid person. That's pretty much what these whole things are. So gormless is just a stupid, foolish, clueless person.
That governor is gormless.
Or the gormless salt.
Oh, this gormless conkly mahogany.
This one you guys know. You've heard tosser, right?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Tosser.
You tosser.
Bit of a tosser.
That's just a stupid person. Let's do one more, and then I'm going to start throwing some more randomly out the rest of the way.
In a way, you'd be a tosser by throwing them out, just a different tosser. And that
Especially
you're
if
tossing
I
words.
threw them out in a really douchey way, that'd make me a tosser. This is my favorite on the list. I'm just going to use it now, is a bell end. You bell end.
I've heard that,
I have
but what
also
is
heard
that?
this, and I don't know what it means.
It just says idiot.
So a bell goes like that, and
Mhm.
I'm assuming the end is the opening that kind of flowers out. So you're wider than the base.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I don't know, but you're an idiot.
Maybe
if
it's
you're
kind
a
of
bell end.
along the lines of like a dull tool,
Sure. I guess I'm too much of a bell end to understand it.
Let's see how many bell ends are in today's California Dreams episode.
That's true. We know from previous Christmas Bones episodes coverage that bells are a regulation size for Santas.
That's right.
So just to tie it back into bells. So since we last talked about California Dreams, something really important happened that we have to address, which is our friend and fan, I guess. That seems crass, though. He's our friend who listens to the show, Johnny Radical, got a cameo from a star of California Dreams.
This was like a year ago.
Last Christmas.
And I was going to do a bunch of stuff with it, and I never did because that's how I work. I get 40 things, and I do 20 of them.
Yeah.
But the other 20, nope.
But it kind of worked out because we didn't know we were going to cover California Dreams again, that we would be doing BTB Rewind. So we're going to play the audio from this cameo. I am, in particular, going to try to hold my shit together.
Hey, Boob Tube Boys, Kelly Packard here. And I'm actually in Mexico for the holidays at my favorite place, Flora Farms, right now. Just had a delicious breakfast. But I just wanted to get this off to you guys. I wanted to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, especially to Brian.
Especially to me.
Hopefully you guys have enjoyed California Dreams and Baywatch.
We have.
And I
Both of
am
those.
going to check out your podcast, I promise. But thanks for all the support, and have a beautiful holiday.
Do you think she did?
No.
No.
Maybe just my parts.
How would she do just Brian?
There's a setting
You
in
can filter.
Pocket
okay.
Cast, filter by host.
There's the 3 check boxes. It's like Van, Spencer,
Just
Brian.
plays
Yep.
an air horn when I'm not talking. It's awful. So that's what happened. We got this cameo.
Thank you, Johnny Radical.
Thank you, Johnny
Thank
Radical.
you, Kelly Packard.
Thank you, Kelly Packard. We hope you listened. If not, listen to this one.
What if she is listening and she's like, hell yeah, they're covering another one of my shows?
Would you please guest on this show? We don't even have to cover a show you've been on.
We'll make sure Brian's not there because otherwise he'll just drool the whole time.
Well, but that might be a feature, not a bug. We don't know yet. We'll find out. So that is a delightful connection to what we're doing today, which is talking about California Dreams. We're covering Season 4, Episode 5, Fallen Idol, from October 14th of 1995. Oh, yeah.
I'm 10 years old.
I just turned 11. Jake has a chance run-in with his musical idol, Zane Walker, at Sharky's. Now, you guys being my co-host and any listener, remember that I've mentioned this plotline 1 million times?
Yeah, this was a very formulative episode in Brian Vaughn's life, I take it.
I always remembered it. So when Jake runs into Zane Walker, Zane says he'll give the California Dreams a listen, but guess what? His intentions might not be as pure as they seem. Also, Tony has some bad luck.
Yeah,
That's our B-plot.
I'm going to give away a bit of the episode here. And Zane Walker, bit of a cockwomble.
I would have second that.
And Zane Walker, a British guy.
I guess.
Is he?
He's supposed to be.
I couldn't really tell.
I couldn't tell where he was going with
I thought
that.
maybe like South African,
So
honestly.
this is the height of Britpop, right? Oasis
Oh,
is
sure.
so
Makes
big.
sense.
This has to be what he's trying to do.
So this is the
I
Neil
could see
Gallagher
that, yeah.
wandering into Sharkies.
Yeah, but he's more like just Gallagher.
It could be that Julian Stone didn't necessarily prep
How
properly.
did you pull that out?
I
Holy
just saw it
shit.
in the end credits. It was like, so that's Julian Stone. Could be that Julian Stone's not doing a great British accent.
Somebody needs to let old Jay Stone know that that's more of like a porno sounding name.
Well, he's been in some stuff. He's still acting. It surprised me because I thought this guy was going to be like in our first California Dreams adventure. It was Gus, the mechanic,
Yeah, of
who was
course.
just like some production assistant. or like gaffer that they put on screen. I thought that's what this guy would be because it is bad for Zane Walker. But no, he's an actor, and that's the accent he went with.
And maybe that's his natural accent. Nobody's taking that
I sure
one?
don't think so.
Okay, well.
He did go to England to study, but
Probably not acting, though. Probably something else. He just went to a college there. I'm sorry, to a university there.
a uni.
He went to university there. That's how you would
you
say
can't
it.
do the little article there.
Yeah, no
they
article.
They don't have those
No.
at all.
Just like internet news, guys. Am I right? No articles. It's just memes.
Oh, man.
Incisive.
That's a real burn.
Ever
So-
since Vice was bought out.
I know. I did used to watch Vice News on HBO.
Sure, they were great once upon a time.
This show, by the way, California Dreams. for
Not
those-
once upon a time. That's a different show.
That's about Snow White. I think.
Yeah, and Jafar is played by Saeed from Lost.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that a
for
good
him.
Jafar?
That's a perfect Jafar. I didn't think there was one, but he'd be very good.
No one was qualified to play Jafar.
No one fucks like Jafar. No, wait. That's the wrong villain, right? The wrong Disney villain.
Yeah,
That's
you're
more
thinking of
Gaston.
Gaston.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Oh boy. If you want to know more,
Matata.
You know who'd be a really good Gaston is, okay, I don't know
Javier
how to say
Bardem.
Yes.
Holy shit,
Yes,
yes.
but I was going to say, how do you say, is it Cavill or Cavill?
And Cavill,
I think he would be a good Gaston.
barrel-chested,
Yeah.
good-looking dude.
Mon-
He'd have
Mustache now.
he'd have to try to be mean though, and I don't think he can do that. He's so gentle.
He was, I think, a bad guy in that Mission Impossible movie, wasn't he?
I didn't see that.
He was. Or he was on
I
the
think
team.
it was a
Yeah, but
twist.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Was he
I
actually
haven't seen
though?
the last
Because
two.
It was all right.
he might have been trying to, and then he just didn't pull it off.
I like those movies a lot, though.
He's a Witcher. Well, no, not
He-
anymore.
No,
Not
he
anymore.
decided he wouldn't do it.
He was a
anymore.
Witcher. I've got one more suggestion for
Gaston.
For Gaston. It's Richard Kind.
Like maybe a slightly older Gaston
yeah.
that is still just as hunky.
Oh well, I
And he
thought that
talks like
goes
this.
without saying.
Oh, everything is obnoxious.
I
and
was in
annoying.
Spin City.
I think it should be a couple of people teaming up to play him. I think it should be part Richard Kind and part Richard Karn.
Oh.
Okay, now we're talking.
I'm saying it's more like the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus or whatever, where
Okay.
it's like this Heath Ledger dies, right? While
Mhm.
they're filming
That
it.
was in real life, yeah.
And so they have to get other actors to play his character, and they split the movie into that. So it's like Robert Downey Jr. is also Heath Ledger's character. In this case,
Yeah.
you got Richard Kind, you got Richard Karn, you got
Michael B.
Henry Cavill,
Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan. All of them are being
Yeah,
Gaston.
Charlize Theron.
And this is, by the way, not Beauty and the Beast. This is a whole different thing
No.
with Gaston in
This
it.
is bigger than Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, this actually Transformers 8 : Richard Kind.
He's also a robot in that.
Did you know that new Yorgos Lanthimos movie, Kinds of Kindness, is just about Richard Kind, different Richard Kind?
Well,
now
makes sense.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's like Multiplicity with Richard Kind, which, you know what, I'd watch it.
Sure. California Dreams.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about today. We're not going to go into, like we normally do, the backstory of California Dreams being created, how many awards it won, none, and the cast and crew. If you want to hear us do that, episode 1 and a little bit episode 2 of our podcast, that's where to do it. But we're going to trust that you know the series inside and out, or just want to hear us joke about stuff.
Let me direct this question to Spencer because it will not be applicable to Brian
Mhm.
as the California Dreams
Yeah,
fan
I
he
would.
is.
I would right now marry Kelly Packard if she wanted to.
Not that question. Spencer,
Oh.
how many of the characters did you actually remember?
I mean, a surprising amount. I absolutely immediately was intimately familiar with Sam.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course.
I mean, it's like you can't forget Sam.
No one
You're
forgets
like
Sam.
You're like that's I missed her when I saw her.
I remembered Sly. And I sat down and I went, I know who this is. His name is Sly and he's slimy. And then I was like, I know Kelly Packard and Sam.
You definitely
Jake
remember
Summers.
Jake, yeah.
But that was it. But
You
there's like
remember
some
Tony?
people I don't remember.
I had kind of
I
forgotten
do
about
remember
Tony for some reason. I felt bad because I like Tony a lot, but
Sure.
I had forgotten about him.
Well, he was the safety monitor in one of our episodes we covered previously.
Oh, yeah.
I remember them all. I've seen them all before, though. It's the best show ever. What it really is not that. It's Saved by the Bell, but everyone's in a band instead. And the band is not Zack Attack, the band from Saved by the Bell.
Mhm.
That in one episode gets famous, but that's not canon.
No, it was a dream, right?
Yeah, it
wasn't
was a
even
dream.
real. I loved that episode when I was like 12.
I did too. It made me think maybe I should be in Zack Attack.
Did I tell you guys that I tried very hard to reproduce one of the songs, one of the hits that they had?
No.
Because I was in band at the time, so I played
Oh,
clarinet. I
sure.
got my clarinet and I played along with a song.
What would it
As a-
sound like? What would the noises
It was
there
like,
be?
do Is this that time I tried to do a saxophone?
Uh-huh.
And okay, well, I might be able to do a better job of clarinet, but the melody was do 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 do.
Do you remember it, Brian?
I kind of do. It's ringing a bell, which would sound like this. Ding!
And then someone would be saved by said bell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense.
I also did a really good bell impersonation on one of those Saved by the Bells that we recorded.
I think you did. Well, those were your shows. You picked
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah, and I wanted to show you guys how a bell sounded, and I did it, and it was pretty good.
The intro is just how I remember it. It talks about surf dudes with attitudes. You guys
Birds.
remember, we heard it starting our podcast. There are birds. You see a bunch of young people, action shots mixed with 90s fonts, the squiggles.
Oh, you squiggly lines
Yeah.
and shapes.
Just like with Saved by the Bell. We begin the episode with the Dreams gang. They're hanging out at Sharky's, which is their little restaurant they go to after school.
It is not, in fact, Sharky the Shark Dog, which was on Eek the Cat. In case
Think
you
it
guys
is.
remember that.
Spencer has faced a
witch.
witch toward me. He has a framed photograph of a witch from the year 4.
Where might you hear about said framed photo? of a
If you were to
witch?
go to patreon.com/Bootu Inc., there's
Oh.
a bonus episode where Spencer and I received some birthday gifts, and the haunted one staring at me right now is one of them.
Is it free?
It's free. You can
Huh.
pay us if you want, okay? But it's totally free, and then we've actually got a pretty good back catalog on there. We're even looser and less professional than whatever this is. The thing about this scene that I really like is that every character from California Dreams enters Sharky's from like a different point. I don't know how many entrances this building has, and they all kind of just convene at the table at once.
I guess that's the opposite of a fire hazard. 'Cause
Yeah.
There are a lot
Yeah.
of ways to get out.
It seems like it could create some traffic flow issues, though,
Sure.
if there are that. I just watched, for some reason, we won't go into it because I don't want to derail us any more than we already have, but I just watched the very first of the Bourne movies the other day.
Is it good? I bet
really
I
good.
bet it rules.
So one of the things Jason Bourne does as a spy automatically, even though he doesn't remember who he is he automatically knows to check for every exit, every room he goes. He would have a tough time in this place.
He would, which is why Jason Bourne never went to Sharky's in the series, which I've not seen all of, but I've seen the first 3, and I liked them. So that's our review of the Bourne series. When we go back to a similar genred series, California Dreams, Sam, who we all agreed is one of the best characters. She's bubbly,
wonderful.
she's optimistic, and she tries the best for her friends. She has some fortune cookies sent specifically from China from her uncle Tse-Tse, who's mentioned in every episode.
Evidently.
And these fortune cookies are known the worldwide for being very, very accurate.
Which is interesting because fortune cookies are a strictly American invention that came about from San Francisco, not China.
I don't think so.
That's not what Uncle...
Tse-Tse.
Yeah, that's not what he says.
Yeah, I believe him. I believe California Dreams.
I would say that we can probably weigh in on how accurate the fortunes are. I don't think they're that accurate. Debatable though.
We'll see. Well, let's go over what everyone's fortune is. Sly, who's the band manager and kind of a weasel, he's going to find his one true love. That's his fortune. Someone from Lorena's past will hurt her. Sam will embarrass herself in front of someone of stature. Mark will get something cool courtesy of a bluebird, and Tony has an empty cookie. Sam explains that means bad luck, bad fortune. You are an empty vessel of a human being.
No soul.
Yeah, nothing there. And Tony says, I don't believe in this, as anyone would. Then immediately goes back to work at Sharky's and falls down very loudly. Tiffany doesn't get one, I don't think. I don't think she gets a fortune cookie.
That's a good point.
Kelly, if you're listening, if you could let us know what happened during that scene, if you were supposed to get a fortune cookie.
Maybe it's just cut for time. We don't know.
We're really not sure. Jake does get one, though. After saying, all this is stupid, I don't believe in any of this, he gets a fortune that says, you'll meet your inspiration. And just then, a middle-aged man in a t-shirt and jeans with a leather jacket, who, I mean, just looking at him, you know, is not cool enough to pull that off. He walks right by, and Jake loses his shit because who is this? It's Zane Walker. Jake has all his albums. He's one of the greatest rock guitarists ever. Oh my God. Jake walks up to him awkwardly and repeats Zane's name like 5 or 6 times. Zane does not know what to do and walks away awkwardly until Sly tells the Dreams why Zane is in town.
What he's doing in Pacific Coast?
Well, I read in the paper he came here for some peace and quiet so he can write a comeback song. He hasn't had a hit in over a year.
Over a year. This artist has not had a hit in over a year. Yeah, that's normal.
Oh no!
How many albums are these people releasing in this world here? I thought this was going to be a thing where, having not seen it in years, where maybe Zane was big in the 80s or something and hadn't had a hit since then. So he's desperate. But I mean, he was just topping the charts with this nonsense a year ago.
What do you think his last big hit was?
I think it was Walking Through Life, because Zane Walker.
Zane Walker, yeah. I think it may have been something along the lines of like, I steal other people's music for my own profit.
Well, you've got a good question there.
Because it's catchy.
We can talk about that toward the end after. We don't want to spoil the plot, but I wonder if maybe he hasn't been doing what he did here the whole time. Has he ever written anything original?
It could be. He
Something
had that
to
one
ask.
hit, Strawberry Fields.
I was just saying, something to dive into. Is he an authentic artist? We don't know.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell right now if he ever was, I'm having trouble.
I also really like the idea of just like front men wandering in like high school, like restaurants or whatever this is. Like David Lee Roth is at TGI Fridays or something. What the fuck? No, come on.
Lorena tells the band, I've got an idea that you guys probably haven't ever once thought of. Let's try to get Zane, who is famous, to hear our band, to hear the California Dreams. Everyone thinks, hey, not a bad idea. We cut to Zane in his hotel room, which is really just like some condo that he's renting or something. It's huge. Zane is finishing up the process of playing an acoustic guitar with his knee in the air with no strap on into the receiver of a home phone for his manager, which is the best way to get a good sense of a song.
Oh, yeah. The quality is top notch that way.
The manager says, babe, that song is garbage. You're a has-been. That's really what the manager says. I wasn't exaggerating for effect. The doorbell rings, and Zane, who is extremely famous and rich, says, come in, to whoever that might be. My point is made immediately that he should not have done that because we see Sly dressed as what is, I will charitably say he is supposed to be an Indian guru of sorts.
He comes in and he says, greetings, I have racism of all sorts.
And he did. He has a whole cornucopia of it. Sly promises peace and artistic nourishment, then makes a noise that I just put down is racist. I don't really have a way to describe it. I don't know what he's trying to do. The rest of the California Dreams then barrel into this condo, this suite, dressed as other horrible. I mean, I don't know. They're all supposed to be some sort of like hippies that are following Sly's teachings, I guess. And they're banging tambourines. They have like pan pipes and stuff.
They're no Zamfir, master of the pan flute.
He'll be coming up later.
Well, yeah, he's the other famous rocker which shows up around here. No, he's supposed to be, I think, like the Beatles went to their Indian gurus and found their musical inspiration. So that's Sly's big plan, is to halfway dress up that way because they've got like the Indian style.
But then he's wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, sunglasses and t-shirt on underneath.
It's not very convincing. And to that point, Zane immediately was like, well, that one that said you're Zane Walker is Jake, because those are the only words that he knows how to say. I'll note that Zane is wearing a shirt that says Raw Rags Blue Jeans on it. And it's like, he looks like he's very dad here. He's dadding it up hard. Once the California Dreams are forced to admit their scheme, because there's really no way around it, and also their scheme is objectively stupid, Zane says, well, what I could do instead is you could have just asked me to listen to the tape, and I would have done that.
Which also is not realistic.
No, it isn't. Tony then breaks the tape, trying to hand it to Zane, continuing his bad luck streak from the fortune cookie.
What does he do? I rewound this like 3 times, and he doesn't. It seems like it just explodes in his hands because I don't see him do anything to it.
No, he certainly never puts a pencil in the little wheel,
Oh, he had to wind it, get it nice and taut.
He doesn't do anything like that. But whatever the case, it's all fucked up now. Zane says, well, okay, the tape's broken. I've got the simplest solution. I will attend your band practice at your house. You don't need to just bring me or mail me another tape. This is what we'll do. We cut now to the orphan house that they all share, or whatever's going on at this point in the show. Or season 4, I don't think there's even a nod to an authority figure.
There's
just
no
like
pretense or anything. It's just like, yeah, they're here. Who cares?
They're doing whatever. They're dreaming. Once Zane arrives, Jake starts a little bluesy riff for everybody. And the band plays a song about standing together through thick and thin forever that is not as good as the Miami Connection song like that.
Agreed.
At all.
Not anywhere near it.
I will note that at this point in the show, Jake is 100% playing the guitar here. Now, he's not playing what's recorded, but he is playing the parts.
He's actively playing the guitar.
Yeah, good for him.
You know, we said this 150 episodes, 160 episodes ago when we first covered California Dreams, but a lot of shows will do that and not even putting the effort into it. This show did, and I
With
will
some
give
of
them
them.
credit for it. Most of them, although there are a few that are really bad.
I also wonder, and I don't know if by this point he actually like took more initiative too. Who
Maybe.
knows? We'll have to ask whatever his name is.
Let's just ask Kelly. She'll tell us.
It's
Oh, yeah.
a bold strategy to go with a 2-keyboard band too. They've got a
And, like,
couple
6
people doing.
singers?
Yeah, it's a weird. It's a weird arrangement.
It's a very
not typical.
80s or 20-teens and 2020s band alignment.
Hey, tell me, what does the long-faced girl bring to the band? Because she's not performing. She's over there with Zane. Why is she here? Why is she
She's
part
just
of the
here
group?
because she's their friend.
Fuck
She's
that.
not
She
actually
needs
part
to
of the
get
band. Well, they tried to have her sing one time, but this is when Jake was dating her. I may have mentioned this on the podcast
I think
before.
you did.
Yeah, and she was a terrible singer, but he didn't realize it because he was in love with her.
Could he see it when she sang bad, or was he too blinded
He
by
couldn't
his love?
see it until they played the tape back. And he said, "Who's this?" Uh-oh, poor Lorena, feelings hurt. But not as hurt as some people's feelings are going to get in this episode, let me tell you. When Jake plays the solo of whatever this song is, he jumps off the ledge of this room like 2 feet away from him in front of Zane. He's really trying to put on the rock star performance.
And the live audience goes, ooh.
Yeah, they flip shit over this song, and Zane says, "Man, you guys are pretty good. Why don't you come to a party at my little condo?" They, of course, say, "Yeah, we're going to do this." This is Zane Walker, Texas Ranger.
Think there'll be group toots there?
I hope so.
I mean, realistically, there would be.
Zane Walker's
Definitely.
party? Yeah, there would be. I mean, no Gallagher brother would have a party without it.
Yeah, not even the one that pretends to be Gallagher.
Yeah, not even Gallagher 2's party. At the Zane Walker party, poor Sam, she's gone around talking to everybody, all these celebs, and she says, "I was supposed to embarrass myself in front of someone of stature, and I didn't." Well, she thinks that, but then Tiffany tells her you've had spinach in your teeth the whole time. Ah, no.
Yeah, TMZ's going to be all over this.
I know.
That's kind of retroactive embarrassment, though. It's not the same thing.
Agreed.
You're kind of protected from the worst of it if you find out afterwards.
Yeah, you don't have that hot feeling of embarrassment in the moment.
It's just not the same.
Sly found his true love, which is $20, lying on the ground.
Also,
That checks out.
I don't know if that quite works.
No.
I'm with you in that it doesn't work for the fortune, but I do think this guy loves money.
He
Sure.
does love money, but we've
Well-
seen in other episodes he more loves the idea of women.
And he did try his luck with the first woman he saw after his fortune. It didn't work out. So the money, I guess, is a safer bet for him.
She killed him.
It really is.
She did give him a good hard slap in the cafeteria.
Zane, in this party, in front of everyone, toasts the California Dreams and says, "These guys are going straight to the top." Seems like I don't want to give anything away, an incriminating move in front of all these people to do that, to mention this other band he's been working with.
Also, what? He was like, this is my party. I'm throwing it already. You guys can come tag along. But now it's their party?
Yeah. And then he immediately pulls Elisa from the room and says, "Everyone leave now."
Let's all go outside.
All at once.
We'll have some cake.
I do like, too, that I realize there's no point to tear down the realism here, but I do like how this is all from him having heard that one, 2-minute song
Yeah,
that they
that's
played.
it.
And he's just going to go out on a limb for him now.
And mostly they've bothered the shit out of him. And that song, we should say, is terrible. The one that he played before that the Dreams played that sounds like it's from the past, but not. It just is awful. Zane holds the Dreams back as everyone else leaves the party and says, "Hey, my manager wants to hear you guys play. The guy that I usually play acoustic guitar over the phone for."
He's here now.
Yeah, well, he wants to see you guys. And while the California Dreams don't have their equipment, Zane says, "You guys can play my awesome stuff," which is Jake's dream. He's always wanted to play his idol's guitar, which I was thinking about. I would not want to play the guitar of anyone that I liked. I would want to play my own that I am comfortable playing if I had to play it in front of them.
Also, don't worry, you can play my guitar. Okay. And the bass, our 2 keyboards,
Yeah.
and the drums,
All the
and
other stuff?
every 8 microphones. Like, what? Okay.
Nope, because it doesn't matter. Jake has to play his newest and best song, which means that the rest of the band just doesn't do anything.
No longer a
It's
band.
just Jake and Mark's just doing harmonies here. And let's hear a little bit of this newest and greatest song the California Dreams have that Jake has.
Another turning point.
I thought that exact thing.
Bright lights, big stars, big dreams.
So that is not the Green Day high school graduation song. It is in fact Jake playing the start of that. But let's hear a little bit of the chorus too, the big hook.
I had too much to dream last It's all different in the daylight. Just had a little too much to drink.
I'm all fucked up on dreams tonight.
Okay, this is really weird. We have a band, Red Dress, that does music stuff for the podcast. And Johnny, who writes the songs for that band, sent me a clip of something he was working on earlier today. He said he'd been in California for a while, and he learned something, so he sent me this. And now I'm starting to wonder about Johnny.
Bright lights, big stars, big dreams. This town ain't what it seems. Where was I going when I left you? What did I think I was gonna do? I had too much to dream last night.
Okay, so that sounds a lot like this song, too.
Pretty similar. Maybe
Mm.
He
exactly
did mention
similar.
he was hanging out with a lot of high school students, which, you know what? I should have thought that part was weird, too.
Shouldn't it be too much to California dream tonight? I'm just saying.
Someone should do a background part that does that. Mark's just fucking sitting there.
That's a good point. So while he's doing too much to dream,
Yeah.
you hear too much to California dream.
Yeah, he just throws that. Or you sample that Dr. Dre song and it goes, California, back there.
The one Chris Barboa always wanted to play as my theme song
That exact one.
because, from California and all that. Anyway,
So this is the song, which it seems that our house band has ripped off. Hopefully no one else will do that.
yeah, Green Day.
Zane says, well, this song rules. It's like the best song, essentially. My manager loves it too. Just a couple of improvements and we'll be good to go. Jake is overjoyed by this.
This is his guy. The man is telling him you did good, son.
It's all he's ever wanted.
You did dream too much
Do
to
you
dream.
feel like Jake should have already seen something coming at this point? Like, it's a little too easy, isn't it? Shouldn't he be questioning this?
He should wonder why this guy is so eager.
Yeah, do you think maybe we could say Jake is daft as a bush?
I
think we could. Now that you
You
mention
seemed
it,
like you were gonna say it, and I just wanted to beat you to the punch.
that's
Bush.
perfectly fine.
a British band popular at this time.
That's very true.
It's all tying together.
Beat It was a Michael Jackson song,
Mhm.
and you said beat, but not it. Huh?
That's a song. That is also music.
Trombones exist. Wow, wow. Right? Because you do the pull thing.
Yeah.
That's a pull
That's
thing
a pull
because
thing.
Lanky Kong plays one.
Of course.
in Donkey Kong 64.
I thought
Everybody
they all
knows
just like
that.
coconuts.
Well, no, that's stupid.
Well, Diddy Kong has a peanut gun.
He has a peanut gun and that rules. Everybody has a gun and an instrument in that.
When the apes learn to make guns, we're fucked. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? Everybody in America has a gun. Can we at least give them an instrument too?
Make it.
To balance out the violence with a bit of artistry.
Yep.
They one in each hand.
If you don't get off my porch right now, I'm gonna fight. But hold on, I have to process my emotions before I act rashly. I didn't really want the oboe, but it really speaks to my soul when they handed out an instrument along with my AK-47.
So wait, in your scenario here, you
The
have
government
to
does all this. They hand out a random gun and instrument.
Oh, you're saying random. I thought it'd be like a sorting hat situation where
Oh, it could
you
be.
put something on and then it says Gryffindor, which means you get an oboe or whatever, and then it grinds on your head.
I do like the idea also of this
Fucks your head, Brian.
gun nut being excited about his sorting as well at Hogwarts. Oh, I never saw myself as a Hufflepuff, but here we are.
This is also a really good pairing, too, to think of a guy, and it exists out there somewhere. A really big-time conservative, loves his guns, and also is a big oboe fan.
Yeah, and also very into Harry Potter. I never really read the series till I found out the author's views. Oh, no, it's that kind of Harry
That
Potter
has opened
fan.
it up for a
Yeah.
whole new generation to get
You know
in
what
there.
it also has done is closed it because I don't give a shit about Harry Potter anymore.
Like, you could say that, did God closed a door and opened a window or something? The window is open for that group and our door has been closed.
Is there a pie on the windowsill?
I don't think so.
God didn't make a pie?
I don't think that people, they wouldn't want a
If
pie.
we were talking about Father Knows Best, there'd be a pie on the window.
Well, that's true.
Or the Andy Griffith Show, for that matter.
Andy, I seen you eating this pie.
That's the whole thing.
I can't decide if the
20
conservatives
minutes.
would like pie or not. Like, I imagine
True.
Oh, they love fucking pie,
it seems like a thing that they could go
as long as it's not some sinner's pie with spice in it or
we'll
something.
have to get a
it has to be
conservative
like
on and feed
banana
them
pie.
a
That's it.
pie and see how it goes.
It's just like an apple pie, but not the kind the serpent offered.
Also, we don't want to talk to you about your views or hear what you have to
wanna
say.
feed you a
We just
pie.
want to give you some pie and see how you react.
What are your thoughts on oboes?
Our religion is a very specific one.
Which house do you think you're going to be in?
It's really a Harry Potter apple pie oboe-based religion.
This is a really good idea we've got going right here.
Back in California Dreams, which is a stupid show from my childhood that I feel warmly about for some reason, Lorena is digging through a box of past items to see what might hurt her from her past. Seems like she's really courting disaster here.
It seems to me like the writers went, let's get this over with.
Like they did with Sly finding $20. Oh, we forgot we wrote that in. Make him find money. Lorena drops a bust of her grandma on her foot, or a bust her grandma made, who cares? Anyway, that wraps her up. Tony laughs heartily about this and then also drops something on his foot. Mark, who's been blessed by a bluebird, he laughs, but it's fine. Sam says, I caution you against such schadenfreude. Jake pops in and says, I'm done with the song now. Oh, good. Now Zane will love me forever and adopt me as the son that he never had so I can have the parents I never had. That's the subtext. And also, now I'll be cooler than Tommy Keating. He's thinking that too.
Oh, I don't know about that, though.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
a tall order.
That's
He
just
did Dead Man's Curve, didn't
exact cool man's
cool
curve.
man's curve. No, the guy's still alive. He's just cool.
he? Well, that's better. But is he rude?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
really rude.
Really? So he's a real Raphael.
Yeah, he
unlike
is.
us.
Yeah, he is a Raphael.
I'd like to say that when Tony laughed at the urn or whatever it was, the when it hit Lorena and Tony laughed at it very, like you said, heartily, that actually did make me laugh. Just seeing Tony's joy
He's
over
a
it.
joyous guy.
He's very bubbly.
It's why when he and Sam dated, it kind of made sense, right?
Sure.
They're both so happy-go-lucky. The California Dreams with Jake's song in tow, the finished You Can Be My Dreams Are Too Big or whatever. The band goes over to Zane's rental condo, but it's empty, and a cleaning woman is there.
Because then we wouldn't know what was happening if we
No.
didn't have the cleaning woman to provide the exposition.
We would at least have the studio audience going, oh,
I didn't know that Rhoda was in this show.
don't you besmirch Rhoda.
She was a little sassy.
It's a little Rhoda-like.
Yeah.
It's a
she
little
had a
Rhoda.
little bit
She
of
has a
that.
bandana too, which is a Rhoda quality. Rhoda Jr. tells the kids that Zane is gone and fuck off. I have work to do. I'm barely paid anything for this. I have kids to put through college.
Excuse me, kids. I need some rockin' with my mopping.
And now to finish off our commercial-free music jam, here's the new overnight hit by Zane Walker, Too Much to Dream.
What?
Bright lights,
What the fuck?
big stars, big dreams.
Okay, so objectively, the California Dreams version is much better.
It is,
Way
definitely.
better.
Not
What is
close.
this?
That guy doesn't even, he sounds like he's just kidding when he sings even. Just like his vocal inflection is like, it's kind of funny.
The music sounds like it's getting to open like the more you know special on like teen pregnancy. Like the versus the acoustic guitars, it's like some sparkling 80s Casio thing. I
Yeah,
don't.
he made it way worse.
He really did. He ruined it.
Definitely sounds like it was written by some bell end.
I still say he's a cockwomble if there ever was
Yeah.
one. I've never known anyone to be more of a cockwomble than Zane Walker.
To me, this takes away all the potential that Zane Walker's own manager said this song had. The manager said this about this song.
It's number one with a bullet. It's Roll Over Beethoven. Elvis, eat your heart out.
Eat shit, Elvis.
I do think that anytime anybody's looking for a top 40 modern pop hit,
It's that.
they're like Beethoven, Elvis. These are who we're citing.
What is that Roll Over Beethoven one? What is that song? Like I know it, but I don't. That he mentioned.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't eat. I
I
thought he was just saying like, oh,
Yeah.
you're not good enough,
Fuck
Beethoven.
you, Beethoven.
No,
Fuck you, Elvis.
It was like I think an Elvis song maybe. Let's pull it up. Let's
Could
play
be.
it.
okay. Yeah, I had no idea.
But it's called Roll Over Beethoven. I know I've heard this, but I.
So he's
I couldn't tell
referencing,
you.
maybe he's referencing the song. I thought he was just saying like, oh, Beethoven's not good enough.
Yeah, or maybe,
Roll over in
geez,
your grave, Beethoven.
geez, Beethoven, that was hot. Roll over. I need some space.
Yeah, Roll Over Beethoven. Oh, that's the Beatles.
Oh.
Oh wait, and Chuck Berry.
Wow.
Which do we want to hear?
I absolutely had no idea.
I guess Chuck Berry must have written it then.
Let's do that one. Okay, so this one's...
It's this song, okay.
All right, let's skip ahead to the main part.
Roll over Beethoven, I gotta hear it again today.
Roll over Beethoven.
So
Yeah,
this makes
I do
even
remember.
less sense now that he was referencing this song.
He was like, it's so good.
It's got
as
this
good as it.
quality.
I don't think they were referencing this. I think that's an accident.
Yeah, it could be.
I think they were.
I think
they
it's
say that.
Well, why
Well,
did
it's
he?
good that we have a
then he
little
says the
conflict
Elvis
here.
thing. He would reference another song in the Elvis thing, or the writing could be bad.
Yep, that's most likely the outcome. And I'm glad we had this because there's really not much else that we could have discussed in any kind of, what do you think about this fashion in this episode?
No, there really isn't. 'Cause
I'm
this,
good.
this show doesn't prompt a lot of debate.
That's not something it does.
Let's hear the clip again and see how he says it exactly.
It's number one with a bullet. It's Roll Over Beethoven. Elvis, eat your heart out.
That's totally touching on that song.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
You can
Why
play it
why
back
would he
both
say
ways.
roll over? What does that have to do with
That's
anything?
a common phrase. That's why that song's titled that.
Well, yeah, but no one uses that in the 90s.
They don't do any of this stuff. Why is he talking about Elvis?
He's touching on the song.
Kelly, if you're listening to this right now and you still know anybody from the writer's room of California Dreams,
Because they're out there.
probably like Aaron Sorkin.
This is a great Boob Tube Boys debate that will go down in the annals of history.
Absolutely.
We're going to always look back at this and be like, well, I still see it my way. And
Johnny Radical.
you still see it your way.
You get on Discord right now and you tell
Weigh
us
in
what
on
you
this.
think.
Yeah.
You think if he's mentioning the Roll Over Beethoven song, or he's just saying
Roll over Beethoven.
Roll
you
Over
piece of
Beethoven,
shit.
yeah, in your dirty grave with your one ear. Wait, is that right?
No, that's Van Gogh.
Whatever, they're all the same. That's an artist.
I mean, the ear might be gone by now.
Yeah,
I think that's
odds are.
I don't think there's any fleshy parts left.
You know something interesting is they're still actually learning what killed Beethoven to this day. Have you guys read these stories about how they've got his hair and they're analyzing it and they're finding more and more out? I don't really know exactly what,
Like
but
syphilis or something like that?
They're getting something about, they think something about mercury poisoning or something.
Sure,
I don't
his
know.
diet of some sort.
Yeah, because they never really knew what exactly happened to the guy. He just suddenly was all kinds of health ailments. He went deaf, of course, famously toward the end of his life.
I assumed it was Solieri.
I thought it was Ultron did it.
Well, he did come about in the age of Ultron, so that makes sense.
I did not expect so much Beethoven talk.
No, I expected zero. Anyway, Roll Over Beethoven.
In Aqua Teen Hunger Force, I really enjoy that Meatwad pronounces it Beethoven.
Beethoven.
Okay, so more stuff goes on in this show, I guess.
Kinda.
Sharky's Jake is convinced that Zane's doing the right thing here. There must be a reason he wholesale stole the song I wrote and made it worse and then got money from it. The entire rest of his friend group and band says, no, Zane is an asshole rich person who stole your thing.
Yeah, someone says just because he's a famous person doesn't mean he's a good person.
That's my favorite line in the whole show. Made me laugh at that. Like, just because he's famous doesn't mean he's good.
Which sounds so reductive and easy to be like, we don't even need this. But again, in our current culture, I would like that to be a thought that people would revisit.
Very true. And Jake refutes it. He says, no way. There's got to be.
No, I'm an idiot.
There's an explanation for this.
Hold on, I got to go find a payphone.
No rock star has ever done anything bad. This is fine. I need a quarter.
Tony, while this payphone shit's going on, he is electrocuted and falls off the roof of Sharky's into some bushes while trying to fix the restaurant sign, which seems like this fortune cookie is out for blood, like Final Destination style.
He was paralyzed from the waist down from there on. Yep.
The rest of the series.
Like Hodgins and Bones. He was in a wheelchair the final few seasons.
Hodgins is filthy rich.
Oh, man. Jake returns from the payphone and says, hey, look, Zane's holding a press conference. He's surely going to give us all the credit when he does this press conference. That's what he's holding it for. Duh.
That's why people hold press conferences.
To give credit to other people.
After you release the song first, claiming it's yours, and then you say, just kidding, it was not mine.
Celebrities and wealthy people are really big on giving credit to others, too. It really helps build their brand. Brand. I hate the world. At the press conference for Zane Walker, the California Dreams arrive. They're prepared for Zane to see what he says. It looks like a courtroom or something.
I was gonna say, can we describe this press conference setting real quickly?
It's not where you would hold a press conference. And what is this press conference?
It looks
I can't
like
say I've
announce?
seen an artist have a press conference for the release.
It looks like where Wings Hauser had to defend himself against Normad in Champagne and
That's
Bullets.
pretty accurate, actually. By
Which
the way,
also wasn't a real courtroom.
the day we're recording, Wings Hauser's birthday was not too long. It was like a couple days ago.
Oh, happy
He's
birthday,
still going
Wings.
strong.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's Wings living right, I'll tell you that.
I'd love to call him and ask him how's her doing. In this courtroom specifically designed for music press conferences, Mark, who believes he has the best luck in the world, he's got a camcorder in there, which was probably really expensive at this time. And he's not using this to catch Zane in a lie, which you might think, or to prove Jake's case. He's using it to catch Tony falling down while Tony's in his bad luck era.
He says he's going to send the video to Wacky Videos, which obviously this is talking about like America's Funniest Home Videos, but Wacky Videos was the other one with Dave Coulier, right? You guys remember that one?
Yep.
Where he would do the jackalope?
Because they had America's Funniest Home Videos, the Bob Saget one, and they had like America's Best Home Videos.
No, I think it was called America's Stupidest People.
Maybe
it was
it's
something
that.
aggressively mean like that. And yeah, it was Dave Coulier doing voices the whole time. And also, do you guys remember America's Funniest Home Videos when Bob Saget would do the
absolutely.
voices? How dumb was that? And I loved it as a kid.
It was like the most popular show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody loved it. It was the biggest precursor to us becoming a attention spanless YouTube country that I've ever seen.
That's true.
When you really think back
It's
on
the
it.
same concept.
So Mark has this camcorder, and lightning strikes outside to signify that Mark is in fact tempting Uncle Tse-Tse's gods to strike him down for his act of hubris. Mark tries to film Tony tripping over a cable on the ground, but Tony catches his balance. Uh-oh, the tables may be turning. A member of the restaurant staff walks by. He's got 2 cakes and he almost falls.
Holy shit, he caught those cakes.
Yeah,
This
he
was
did.
impressive.
It was really good. And I should
What are you doing
specify
walking
when
with
I
2
say-
cakes, by the way?
When I say he's got 2 cakes, I don't mean the backside.
No, he's got a cake in a hand.
Yeah, 1 cake in each hand is worth 2 in the bush or whatever. This guy elicits a laugh from Mark at nearly falling, and he gets mad. And the cake guy says, "Head cheese don't like being laughed at," to Mark. That's what he says. And
I'm glad you wrote that down because I wrote down head cheese thinking that I just didn't hear that right.
That's what
There's
he
no
says.
way.
I listened a few times.
He's referring to himself as head cheese.
Yeah.
He says, I'm head cheese. Me no like.
I guess so. He's a member of the Al Snow, Steve Blackman tag team Head Cheese, or he's the Head Cheese. I don't know, but he sandwiches those cakes on Mark's little head. Oh, no more good luck for you from the Bluebird, Mark.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Tony is now freed from his curse, and he does a little dance to celebrate, but Sam says, Tony, cool it. You don't want God to strike you down again. Just then, Zane Walker walks in. Oh man, his wiener's hard and his confidence is renewed. He has a babe on each arm when he walks in. Presumably, they've all just had some sort of too much to dream last night, and Jake confronts him. Says, Zane, what the hell? And I guess I can just walk up to you. I'm confused at your level of fame, Zane. How famous are you?
You do have a press conference, so you clearly are famous.
Zane kind of silent treatments him, and Jake realizes right then Zane's going to be a dick about this. Zane says, I like being a star, and I'm going to keep it that way. This song is only a hit because I sang it. I'm Zane Walker.
Never meet your heroes.
Jake says, look, you're better than this, man. And Zane says, I am not.
He's a real cock wobbler.
He goes to a podium that has no fewer than 25 microphones at it. And then boastfully says, I feel great about this. My new song rules that I wrote and no one else did.
He cackles.
Yeah, a little bit. And Jake tells his friends, he says, it's not my losing my song that hurts. It's losing my idol. And as a person, as we're all creative people, no, it would be losing the song that hurts.
Yeah.
Well, as Jake says confidently, I can write one of those every day.
Yeah, I
And
did
it's
like that.
I don't care. I got more of those coming.
I did nod at the screen when Jake said that. And I said, yeah, Jake, that's right. No one can fuck with your music and take it down and ruin it forever.
The thing about Jake is like what he did lose, you can't replace that.
It's gone forever.
No, all those childhood memories tarnished by Zane Walker's theft and probably cum based on how he's walking in here.
I think this was the episode of TV that helped us coin the phrase as a society. Never meet your heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And this episode, like it or not, this has affected my worldview probably as much as I remember it and as often as I mention it. So that's it. We're done here with California Dreams
All
for
right.
now.
I actually thought when he went up to the microphone that he was going to have a change of heart and admit it. So
I like that he
I was
doesn't.
happy that the episode actually went through with that and made him just a dick.
Saved by the Bell would have never done that.
No, he would have learned his lesson at the last minute and been like my friend Jake.
Precisely what I wrote down. I was like, holy shit, this show did that. It has earned my respect because of it. This was a breezy half hour of TV. I had fun with this.
I think we've kind of had fun with the California Dreams.
Absolutely.
I would take this over Saved by the Bell any day.
I would too, and I put that down. I've had more fun watching it. I think it's a little less formulaic in some ways, although, I mean, it still is, but this is an episode that literally cuts from Jake going, I've lost my idol, to the fucking theme song in the credits.
Well, it was a real nut punch to have the end of the episode walk out, the outro, with Too Much to Dream.
Yeah, and then right away you're like, surf dudes. So, yeah.
I can't get over how bad his version is.
It's so bad.
It is awful.
I love how shitty everything about Zane Walker is. You know what? Zane Walker can't pull off a leather jacket, but who can? We talked about this back on, I think, episode 2, and we discovered it's very hard to do. So I'm going to throw a few names out there. If you guys have any ideas, we'll see. So the first one I have is Zamfir, Master of the Pan Flute. Can he wear a leather jacket?
Absolutely. I think he can, but he could not get on the motorcycle.
Okay.
But I think if he's walking around, whips out that pan flute. He's like, I've sold more records than the Beatles. Wearing a leather jacket. Okay. Because he has sold more records than the Beatles.
We'll have to check on that. The second name I have here is Barth.
It'd be too wet.
Yeah, I don't think it would be good for the
It would
fabric.
like shrink and
Yeah.
warp the
Too
leather.
heavy. Mm-hmm.
That's
and it'd bog
true.
him down in the
Looks
swamp.
though, I just don't see it. I don't feel like that's not Barth.
Would
you
his
know?
mustache wear a leather jacket?
No, we could debate that.
Do we think he's more of a jean jacket?
Yeah,
absolutely. He's a roused
Yeah,
hour
that's-
type.
He's a
sure,
roused
sure.
hour type. Yeah. Okay. I think we're right about this one. The next one I have for you guys is Richard Nixon. Could he wear a leather jacket?
I mean, maybe. It depends on what he was doing. But I think
I am not a crook. You think he's putting some ketchup on some eggs and wearing his leather jacket? You taught us that.
that I've forgotten all about it. But yeah, you're right. I did.
I think that was Father Knows
It's
Best.
a random factoid I must have pulled out somewhere on the internet.
You
but-
knew all about
What
Nixon.
show?
Yeah.
What show is that?
Father Knows Best.
Robert Young. Could he wear a leather jacket?
No, he could wear a sweater.
Just not not the right temperament and not the right era.
No.
Was leather around then?
No,
He
they
doesn't
hadn't
even look-
invented it.
No, they hadn't invented cows yet. Even.
They had like cowboy leather, and then it stopped for 40 years during the mid 1900s. Then it came back in the 70s.
As cool guy leather, Fawn's leather.
People were putting it in their cars and on their bodies.
Yes.
Godzilla. Could he pull it off?
Too big.
You'd need too many cows.
Too
right?
big. Yep.
I would like to see it though, and I think it could happen. But yeah, we'll never know.
And he's got a really big cigarette. He's Japanese. They all smoke.
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah, I think
absolutely.
so.
I thought
think
so too, and randomly she popped into my head as someone that could, so I put her down to see if that was true. You guys
She is
immediately backed.
not scared of bold statements like that either. She
No.
could do it.
Garfield.
I think he has.
I would like it.
I believe there are decals of him wearing a leather jacket and saying something like,
Does he have sunglasses
Monday's
too?
right.
Because
Of
I
course.
could see that.
Okay. all
maybe
right.
a beanie?
Yeah, I'm all for this.
Maybe a gun?
What about Andrew Garfield?
Ooh, I don't think so.
I hope not. I don't think
Hair's
he
too
doesn't
big.
have the toughness.
Little too proper.
Yeah, I mean, seems like a nice guy, but he's a little too pretty.
He
Yeah.
could push down the James Dean path. I could totally see it. They have similar features.
Sure.
But he's too dorky with it. He's too proper, as you
Yeah,
say.
and
So
he's busy with Adam Driver in Japan trying to bring Christianity over there
Is that a thing?
in the movie Silence.
Oh, okay, good.
Which is a pretty good movie, but also kind of you have to be wanting to watch 3 hours of not really anything going on.
Well, sometimes I can do that.
Liam Neeson's in it.
Like now?
It's a Martin Scorsese movie from like 5 years ago. or something.
Huh.
Somehow I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah. I've got another one for you guys. It's Michael Madsen.
I feel like, yeah.
I think so.
And I think at any stage of his career, weirdly, even as an old guy,
Even as like Bud from Kill Bill,
Yeah, he
washed
could do
up,
it. He
he'd
could do
still
it.
be wearing it.
like a crusty brown one.
I feel like prime Michael Madsen 100%
Oh, yeah.
would just be like, wow, yeah, that belongs.
Oh, Reservoir
on you.
Dogs, Michael
Yeah,
Madsen.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Free Willy Michael Madsen. Yeah, of
Precisely.
course.
That wails over him. It gets the jacket wet. Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. I don't even care. Michelle Obama. Probably, right?
I feel like, yeah.
Ooh, boy, but it would be the tan suit all over again.
I just don't want to bet against her. I feel like she can make it work.
I think she could do it, but Fox News would shit their pants and make
They
it
would.
nonstop
Fox News would all of a
news.
sudden be like, they're butchering cows for jackets.
Now they care.
Oh, man. Danny DeVito.
Yeah. I do think so because he's so goofified and in American pop culture. I think he can get away with anything he wants to do.
He is a very confident performer.
It's not, the image is not welcome in my head. I don't know. I
think 15 years ago, before he became what he is in pop culture, no. But I think now that he is firmly cemented after It's Always Sunny and all that, I think yes.
I'm going to say if he is willing to prove it to me, I will consider it. We'll need to get him in here and have him try it on.
I would love that.
And then I will tell him I think I can do that, Danny.
I love that Danny DeVito got that other career arc so that like younger people know who he is.
Sure.
That's cool. Also,
like he's the Lorax.
If I were casting the Little Caesars guy.
Yeah.
Danny DeVito, yeah.
Yeah, he's my man. He's the man.
And he's leather jacket and toga.
I have one more for you guys. Car.
Oh, yeah.
From Knight Rider.
You could stretch one around.
Yeah.
Well, they have those.
The guy just is a leather jacket.
They're called bras for cars.
No, those go on women's boobs.
Well, you see them on the front of the car.
Anyone's boobs.
No, that's the bro.
The man's ear.
Which do you like better? I think I like the
bro is better. It's so much better, so much easier to market.
But yeah, those bras for cars, you could make that leather, which I think they often are, and it's leather jacket for car.
I think we need to get these in production, maybe with the Boob Tube Boys logo or something on it. I'm not sure. If you want to see the Boob Tube Boys logo, you can go to bootuinc.com. Van, you're on Blue Sky as
That's
Bootu
right.
Inc., right?
Yeah, you can see the little sheep eyes staring at you. Check it out, Blue Sky at bootuinc.bsky.social.biz or whatever they make all the usernames.
Yeah, they got to fix that. I'm at loudguitarbrian.whatever. I've talked about Steven Tyler and wrestling on there, two of my passions. Spencer's going to be on somewhere
To
soon.
be determined. Yeah, stay tuned for that one. It's going to be a big reveal.
Silver Hat Steve.
Yeah, well, Golden Hat Mick is dead. We know that.
I was thinking it'd just be Spencer Hendricks. That's like, it seems like I'll be honest.
Can you
about
want that
it.
one?
What if just Spencer? If just Spencer is available,
the very first
you need
on
to
Blue
take
Sky.
it.
I hope so. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if my marketing team can approve that one.
Steve Buscemi, leather jacket or not?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going to bet against the guy. That's fine.
Nothing's ever stopped that fucker. I love him. Next week, we're going to be talking about a totally different episode of television. I believe that we've been doing BTB Rewind, but what's that? Do I hear Santa's Sleigh? Van, do you want to tell us what we're talking about next week?
We're talking about the 1990s movie featuring Bill Goldberg, where he plays Santa, whose sleigh is led by a giant beast, elk. No, we're not doing that. We could.
No jackhammers then in what we're watching?
A few jackhammers in what we're watching.
What do we do normally around this time of year?
Look, our schedule's been messed up. We're hashing it out. We'll get it all sorted out. But next week is going to be the week of Christmas. It's a holiday week, and every year for the holiday, we do something special where we take a look back at old shows we've already covered.
We don't all have time to pick a show.
We don't. So we're just going to do one. And guess what, guys?
We can't pick between... There can't just be one show we'd rather cover during Christmas than any other
There's
show.
not just one show that exemplifies Christmas for Boob Tube Boys that stands about of all others.
Not one show we're all coming to love more than any other.
Hear me out. Bones.
Well, God damn it, he did it. He picked the one correct show.
We're doing Bones. We're going to do it again. We've done it
yeah.
every Christmas for the last couple of years, thanks to Brian. And guess what? I get to take over the title of Bones Supreme Hero of the Boob Tube Boys again because I'll be hosting.
Yeah.
So I now have 3 Bones episodes to Brian's 2.
I'll get you.
Yeah, Spencer's it was gonna be his here this year, but it didn't work out.
I've got the
'cause
one,
of
right?
schedule.
I did one, didn't I?
No, you haven't done a Bones
I thought I
yet.
did one.
You haven't done one yet.
No Bones yet.
Wow.
You're going to have to next year.
I really thought I did a holiday one, but I guess I just
You
felt
will.
like we all did it.
We all did do it together. And
That's true. You know what? I relinquished the title of Super Fan Bones Supreme Being to say we all have that title.
Yeah, we are all Bones.
We all got a little bones in us.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned next week for Bones. It's a Christmas episode. It is season 1, episode 9, The Man in the Fallout Shelter. Listeners out there, you guys need to go watch season 1, episode 9, The Man in the Fallout Shelter, so you can follow along. But if you don't, still show up. I'll talk about it. I'll tell you what happens. Hodgins is there.
And since
Filthy
Spencer
rich.
and I have seen much less of the show than Van, we're finding out sort of in reverse chronology certain things.
This one was interesting to me. since
Rich in lore.
We saw so much deeper into the show, and this one, some things were getting revealed. I was like, I already knew that.
Yeah.
I knew this.
Why are you telling me this, Bones?
Facts about personal lives of characters are being revealed. Lesser special effects budgets are being revealed. A lot of things. And next week is going to be very exciting. and I mean this very legitimately, one of my favorite things about the holiday season
Yeah, it's Bones.
is talking about Bones with you guys on this podcast.
I think you'd have to be a real knobhead not to like it. I knew we were running out of time and I had to fit one more in.
You kunkled that mahogany right away.
We'll see you next week, you wankers.
Bright lights, big stores, big dreams.